Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today's another edition of Amazing Retro Games. And the game I've chosen today is Utopia for the Intellivision. Now, this is one of my favorite games on the system. I have a small amount of games that I consider to be my favorite. Dungeons and Dragons, which I did a video on before. I think I've done twice now. And this one. This has always been a fascinating game to me. I never had it as a kid. My uncle had it, and I used to try it all the time. But when I was younger, I really didn't understand the game. I mean, I was just fascinated by the look of it. I was fascinated by what was going on, but I didn't really fully understand what was happening. And then when I got older, obviously when I rebought my Intellivision and started scoping out games again, and I saw this for sale in one of those video game stores, and I bought it. I mean, what did I pay? $4.95, pretty good deal. From Microplay. They don't exist anymore. At least I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, at that point, that's when I was able to read the rules, figure out how to play it, and I actually realized how much fun this game is. And I kind of consider this to be the first SimCity. I don't know if it's true or not, because there might have been something on a previous computer. But this is like 1981, and going back quite a ways to when the video game industry first started to take off, and there wasn't a whole lot of other competitors out there. So, I don't think there's anything like this on the Atari or any of the other older systems. Now, the object of this game is you're building up an island. You're not building up a city, but it's the same idea. You got to build resources. You got to build houses and stuff. It's all kind of the same idea as SimCity. Not as complicated, obviously, but still a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it is really meant for two players, but you can play a single-player game. You're just really trying to best your previous scores, that's all. There's no AI component to it. The computer does not play on this one. Well, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. I'll kind of show you in the video. So let's get to playing this and take a look at Utopia on the Intellivision. Okay, so we got Utopia fired up. 1981. That's fairly old. So let's see. This is a game I would definitely suggest having your manual with you and your overlays, because there's so much to remember. You have to remember all the things you have to buy, and you have to look at your overlays on the Intellivision controller to know what to buy and what buttons to push. There's no menu screen that pops up in this game, so this is a cool feature. It gives you the option of how long you want to play your games, how many days you want to play, and how long each turn is going to be. So let's start off with, I don't know, let's go 12 days. And I think 40 is the least you can go. I'm not sure. So as you can see, I got my island set up here. There's nothing there. And that's the player 2 island. I obviously don't have a second player, so it's just going to sit there doing nothing while I actually build up my island. So usually what I like to start off with is crops, because, you need crops. Oops. So that's number 3 on the control pad. So I'm just hitting 3, then enter to drop a crop wherever I want. As you can see, it's not really, you don't have to put them there. You can put them wherever you want. It's kind of fun. And what the crops are going to do is it's going to help, each turn generate some money. So now I have $92 down there, and that's the turn counter. So 11. I started on 12. Another thing I like to do, because, this is all about getting money, so I like to buy a fishing boat. So that's 9. And this little green fishing boat, it's kind of hard to see. It's really dark green against the dark blue. But I don't know if this TV's color scheme is off a bit. But I just hover over the boat, and there we go. So what I'm doing here is there's like some fish, or what they call a school of fish. And so because I'm a fishing boat, the longer I sit there over that school of fish, the more money I start generating. And that's a pirate ship there. That guy is bad news. He'll actually sink your fishing boat. Not a good thing. So you can see here, they've got these clouds and stuff that come through. This will rain on your crops and keep them alive. And there's a hurricane that goes through. There's a bunch of different things that go through and actually hurt your island as well. And you'll notice over here, these are rebels. This is a rebel sign. Essentially, the island has nothing, so it's just rebels are taking over. What's interesting is that on the on your keypad, you actually have a rebel symbol, and you can actually pay money. It's like $30, and you can put a rebel over there. In fact, let's give it a shot. There it goes. I just put that one there. And that obviously helps our scores against your opponent. So other than planting crops, I mean, there's a bunch of other things you need to do. So I'm just going to like leave my fishing boat. I just anchored him there. Hopefully he doesn't get hit by that pirate. He probably will. But one thing you want to put down is a fort. That's this black thing here. Uh-oh. That's going to happen. That's not good. It's like he just passed me. So the fort actually protects the surrounding area from... oh, there goes my ship. Helps the surrounding area. So it's kind of like your security. You always want to put one. I usually put one somewhere in the center. Always helps to put it in the center. Then there's more things you could buy based on the amount of money you have, obviously. So let's see. I'm not making much money. I'm only at $37. I think I gotta drop some more crops down. You know, this is much like SimCity in a way. I mean, you're building up your island. You got to protect it. You also got to build resources. Eventually, you start getting a higher population, and your what's I going to say there? Your population's going to get angry, so you've got to put stuff down to make them better. But it does cost money. So I just lay down a whole bunch of crops. Let's see if I make some money here. So I think that's my population there, 173. So I only have $20. Can't buy much. Might have to wait a day. Again, I put in the 40 seconds for a day. I could have put it in longer if I really wanted to go the long game. And I lost my ship, or my fishing boat, so can't get out there and get those school of fish. I'm just playing the waiting game right now just to try and generate some money. Now, I believe the rainstorm, which is this, actually helps your crops grow, according to the manual. So you want to try and plant where these things are going in. This is a tropical storm here. It may either help or destroy them, so it's kind of one or the other. And then the hurricanes will actually destroy everything in its path. So, I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Once you start building your structures, you can't really move them around. Let's see if I could buy another fishing boat. Yay. Oops. So I'm going to try and get some more fish. That's usually what I do in this game, is just try and get fish. I don't have much money though. I'm kind of running out of money here. Also, the you know, the amount of time your game is, it's not going to give you a lot of time. I mean, I only put 40 seconds on this one in 12 days, so I don't have a whole lot of time to build up this island. But just hovering over these fish is going to give me a lot of, well, it's going to give me some money. I think it's like $1 every few seconds. Still better than making nothing on the turn. I mean, that's one of the downsides of this game, is once you've built up your stuff on the island, there isn't a whole lot to do except go fishing. Because, you know, you're going to run out of money eventually on the turn if you buy a bunch of things. As you can see, my crops are depleting. I don't have a lot. So I better do something about that. Alright, I got $52. So another thing I can buy is a house, but I have to get off the boat. I can buy a house. Oops. I don't know if I have enough. That's why it's handy to have the manual. No, you need 60 for that, so I only have 52. So what else could I buy here? I can buy a school. So there's the school there. Kind of a white shape. Hard to see it. Take my fishing boat back out. Oh no, I got a rebel. So, I mean, the reason why that happened is my island's not really happy right now because I only have like one little thing of crops. I got a fort and a school. So what I need to do is actually get some more crops going on. And probably need a home and eventually a hospital. Luckily the crops are cheap. They're only $3 for a patch of crops. I'm just going to put some crops everywhere. As you can see, this island's starting to fill up with rebels. I would not want to go over there right now. See if I can get that boat over to that school of fish. My fishing boat's not really making me any money just sitting there, so I'll put them on there. Let's see if I can make some more. The rebel's still there, but you have to work at it. You have to buy the appropriate stuff. You have to get the, you have to put in more proper housing. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because I only have 2 turns left and I'm not making very much. So there is a strategy to this game and kind of following along with what you can buy. And when is the right time to actually place things to make the money. Let's see, I got $29. I don't know if I'm going to make much income. The school does bring in income, of course. The factory, that's the one thing I need to buy, is a factory. Silly me. I'm going to put in a factory. Now again, kind of like in SimCity, if you put too many, say, factories, you start creating pollution, which actually does more harm to your island than good. So, even though now I have a factory, I just have the one. But if I were to go and drop factories all over the place, it would actually do harm to me, and I'd probably get more rebels. As you can see, my turn is almost over. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So 417, final score. I mean, that's not bad. I did a really quick game here. There's a lot more I could have done, which is cool. Like this is why I liked playing this game. I like doing all the different combinations, figuring out the different kinds of crops to put in there. And then when you do eventually get your opponent to play, if you have somebody to play along with you, I mean, in most cases you're not really competing against each other, but you can actually pull out a PT boat, which is cool, and actually go after your opponent's fishing boat. And of course you could put rebels on there. You know, I know in the past when I used to play this with a friend, we would always say, like, let's not do that, let's not throw the rebels at each other, because that can get pretty frustrating if you just sit there constantly purchasing rebels and throwing it over there. But I mean, yeah, I mean, this is an awesome game, and the fact that this is 1981, I mean, this predates a lot of cool games that came after it, and this is still actually a decent game and a lot of fun to play. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, I really just scratched the surface of that game, and I just got it going. When I play the game normally, I don't do it in such small intervals because I want to be able to build up the money. I want to be able to build up the island. You know, I definitely go a lot longer than 12 days, and usually more than 40 seconds a turn. Like, I usually go about, like, almost 90, I think, because you really want to have the time to think about where you want to put things, and you want to have the time to get your fishing boat out there and, you know, go fishing and all the other stuff. So I would recommend it if you have the time to actually play the game properly. I would do it that way, and you can actually get further. Now, here's the manual I was talking about. I definitely recommend this if you have the box and the overlays and all that stuff. Keep the manual handy while you're playing the game. As you can see, during the game, it's not as fast-paced as, you know, you can't stop and take a rest or look around or whatever. So you have a little bit of time to actually do that. And that's what I did with this. I had it sitting in front of me. This is an important page here because it tells you how much things are, you know, and what they do. I mean, that was the more important thing. Like, for instance, the fort, it says protection, guards surrounding land area against rebels. guards nearby fishing boats. That's important information because, then you can leave your fishing boat by the fort and it won't get sunk by those pirates. And knowing what's going to cause problems and what's going to create income, very important in this game. Also on here, just to see what all the little things did that were floating around the screen. You had your rainstorm, there's the tropical storms, the hurricanes, and you can find out what the danger is. It also gives you some advice on how to keep track of your population and all the other things that is required. And of course the pirates and the PT boats, how they work. So I would really recommend, this is one of those games where the manual really does help. And like I said too, the overlay. This is really handy because you don't want to forget where things are. You don't want to be mashing buttons trying to think which one's the factory, which one's the school. I know when you play these games enough times you do memorize it, but in the first few rounds of, the first few times you ever pick this game up, I would really suggest, if you have one. If you don't have one, you could probably just write it down and put it in front of you. But definitely really helpful in this game. And of course, I just want to talk about the box art because I really enjoy it. I really like the way they graphically put the island there. They show the game itself. I mean, that's obviously a drawing. It's not an actual screen cap, but it looks cool. I mean, the whole box just looks awesome. And it opens up and it has the place where you can put your manual, your inserts. Typical Intellivision box, actually, and this is why most Intellivision games are still in boxes today, whereas Atari carts are usually loose, because the boxes actually did serve a purpose. But I really do like the artwork on this box. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. I know I just scratched the surface of this game, and this was just a video to show how awesome this game is. But I would like to do another one eventually where I actually get a little bit deeper into the game, show off more of the stuff, actually have some fun playing it, maybe a much longer game, and once I figure out where it would fit into what kind of video I could do it for, maybe like a let's play or something like that, who knows, maybe even a live play, just to have some fun with the game. Let me know what you think of the game, and if you've ever played it before, and what's your favorite simulation style game, because I know there's tons of them out there. This is one of the first ones, so I mean, as simple as it is, it's still a lot of fun. Compared to SimCity obviously is a lot more complex. You got to build roads, you got to build rails, you got to build electrical systems. I mean, you got to build everything. This is a little bit more simple, but just as fun. And so it'd be nice to hear what you think and what your favorite style of simulation style game. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.